What's good? So I want to make this one because my video got interrupted last time, but I want to make this one part two of semen retention, looks, money, and status. And I want to go ahead and dive into this one because yesterday I was in this group. I'm in this group on Facebook, a spirituality group that somebody added me into. Most times people add me in the groups, but I don't, or invite me to a group. So pretty much, there was a post about semen retention. A guy had posted in the group, and he was saying how, he was doing better than expected. He figured he'd give it a shot. And so there were women that had commented on it, and it was interesting their take on it, because one woman was like, she hasn't figured out how to introduce this concept to guys, And so I commented on it. I said, well, what you want to do is talk to someone who has already developed a self-mastery in regards to semen retention. And so she asked if she could talk to me, and I was like, yeah. So another girl, she had posted something up about whether or not she should stop using her vibrator. Hold up, what the fuck? She was wondering if she should stop using her vibrator. And I was like, well, it would help you too. I said the issue is artificial stimulation. And so in having a conversation with her, she liked my response, and she ended up sending me a friend request, But one of the things that I said to her is that I said, semen retention and just developing that control over your sexual energy will cultivate healthier relationships and build more authentic interactions with people, and our identity is tied to our sexual nature. That's pretty much who you're rooted in, who you're grounded into, and with practicing semen retention and not engaging in those activities that are not natural. Because masturbation, in a sense, it is natural as an understanding of it's natural in the sense of coming to understand yourself. Like animals in different aspects of the animal kingdom do practice it, but just because animals do that doesn't mean that it's something that should be done. So I told her, I said, the key is to not be dictated by external forces and letting them have a rulership over your sexual energy. And I said, us taking that energy back is where our power is. And this is the thing, what I was saying in my last video about the different communities, like red pill community, incel, MGTOW, who else was it? Black pill. They all have their place. But the problem is that there's a lack of respect for the balance. There's a lack of respect for the acknowledgement that you as a man, you have feminine energy in you. So there's no way that you can live a healthy life, healthy, fulfilling, complete life without acknowledging and respecting the feminine energy. You can sit there and bitch all day about, women only care about men's looks, succubuses and Jezebels and all of that. I'm like, we get the reality of that. There are women out there who do that. But the fact that you're complaining about it and you're whining about it and you spend all your mental energy focusing on that, you're essentially weakening yourself and you're giving them that power. You're ultimately pretty much negating the fact that you are an autonomous being with a will to exercise, that you can exercise. You know what I'm saying? You do have a free will within you. But unless you go within, you won't really tap into it. You'll be engaging in habits on autopilot unconsciously that will stem from beliefs in your mind that have been implanted by somebody else. So back into the looks, money, and status. A lot of guys don't realize the power that comes from going within. when you go within and you decide you come to the realization that you're a truth seeker and that you're on that path of truth, your primary objective is to gain knowledge. And in that process of your elevation, start to give it to others. A lot of these incels and MGTOW men, they don't realize how many women, well, I'm throwing black pill too. They don't realize how many women that they can get from just being a giver of knowledge, from just being authentic. A lot of these guys in red pill, they're not authentic. They're not coming from the soul. They're caught up in feelings. They're caught up in emotions. You know what I'm saying? They're not grounded in their center. You feel me? They're not balanced beings. They're not coming from that heart space that is intelligent of one's own self. You know, because we as beings of nature, we're given everything that we needed at birth. You know what I'm saying? The body is self-regulating. We can either move in accordance or disrupt that balance. You know what I'm saying? But just from my comments or my statements alone in that group, I was not expecting to attract the attention that I did from it. And there were more women commenting on it than anything. When I said, you know, I've been on this path for a long time. You know, and I said, I refuse to go back to porn and masturbation. I said, we as men are designed to be having sex. We're designed to be having sex, not jacking off to pixelated artificial images on the screen. You know, what else did I say? I was like, I said, what this does is it makes a man more masculine and in tune with himself and in nature. And I said, it also enhances your sexual experience, you know? And I made it a point. I'm speaking from experience. So, you know, and I was like, it expands your awareness tremendously, because I can look, and I've said this in previous videos, I can look and tell that a man is spiritually weak and that he masturbates. Like it's first nature. I'm not even gonna say it's second nature, because you are designed to be aware of what's going on around you. That shows itself as a child. You know, you have this desire to be out in nature and to be running around playing with toys and to create, to destroy, to build. Like, you are the embodiment of this natural, of the laws of nature. The human being is an embodiment of the laws of nature. We are all of the laws of nature put together, and that is how we're created. You know, I'm speaking this authentically. I'm not speaking this from a book that I've read from. You know, now you can find people that share certain thoughts of mine. You know, but I'm coming from within. To come from within, that's to be authentic. You know, and so the looks, money, and status argument are guys that believe that, like I've said it in the previous videos, they're defining themselves by material. Now, material is a natural manifestation, but you should only be coming to understand yourself based off of natural manifestations. You know, like, oh, when you eat certain things, they have a certain effect on the skin. You know what I'm saying? On your being. You know, taking care of your body. That's not superficial. Taking care of yourself is what you're supposed to be doing. Everything in nature has to take care of itself, or it won't survive. You know, so your primary concern should be with you building yourself up and developing yourself and taking care of yourself. And to really experiencing life, you coming in and you finding your purpose. That's what a true fulfillment is. So when you understand your purpose and why you're here and what you're meant to do, and you're at peace with that and you're aligned with that, then you can go out and really start manifesting what you want to manifest. You can get the women that you want to get, you know. But see, the problem with these, you know, with the incels, the black pill, and some of the MGTOW is that all of them have forgotten that your purpose is what reigns supreme. All of y'all are sitting up here complaining about women when you're supposed to know what you're here for. Why are you concerned about women? Unless you're going through a breakup and the universe is trying to show you something, that should be the only reason why you're concerned about women. You're trying to figure out why you and your ex relationship failed, you know, or why women aren't drawn to you. Like, look at yourself and stop being so quick to blame women, because there's a lot of people out here with a victim mindset and they won't ever succeed. They won't ever succeed because they're at war with themselves and they're blaming it on other people when they put themselves in that position. It's different when you're born into circumstances beyond your control. You don't choose the color of your skin. You know what I'm saying? You don't choose your parents. Now, from a tribal elder's perspective, they say that your soul chose to be here and it signed a contract. That's a tribal understanding. That's not New Age. That comes from tribes. And the tribes is because those individuals, people from tribes, were here first. They were the first inhabitants of the earth. They developed and understood those laws, and they built society from understanding universal laws. So the problem is with all of these incels and MGTOW individuals talking about go your own way. First of all, you're supposed to be your own man at the end of the day. Shouldn't be no going your own way. Shouldn't be no concept like that. You're supposed to be doing that from the beginning. You did it as a child. You was going your own way. Before you start coming into your sexual nature, you didn't let women dictate what you did. The only woman that you allowed to dictate what you did was your mother. And that's because that was her purpose, to make sure that she took care of you as your mother, to help nurture you and take care of you and do things for you that you weren't able to do for yourself. So people have to put things in the proper perspective. You know, it's the universal laws. It's the laws of nature. They rule and regulate everything. And a lot of these guys are not getting that. A lot of these guys are not getting it. You can sit here and blame women all day, you know, but it's women actually out here trying to do stuff, trying to build and connect, trying to bring about change, while all these men on the internet bitching, all these men whining and shit. Hold women accountable for disrespect and for perpetuating false narratives and for maintaining the matrix. Hold them women accountable, but at the same time, have a holistic, complete perspective. Because I've spoken on Red Pill before in my videos to put it in a spiritual perspective, because that's what it truly comes from. It was all about you being aware of the spiritual reality. That's what it means to be Red Pill, to be aware of the spiritual reality and that it rules everything. So all these individuals that want to criticize Red Pill without putting it in the proper perspective where it really comes from, no, put it into perspective. That's all I'm saying. Put it into perspective, because when I spoke on Red Pill, I didn't never say I was Red Pill, but I can consider myself Red Pill, you know. But at the same time, it's like I still appreciate women. I still value women. I value myself. I value masculinity. I'm always respect masculinity, but I'm always acknowledge too that I have femininity within me. Because you can't have, all of creation has masculine and feminine energy. But masculine and feminine energy doesn't have one form. Because if it did, then you wouldn't have individuals like cats, you know what I'm saying, and tarantulas and different. These are all masculine and feminine energies manifesting themselves in different forms. You feel me? So the looks, money, and status, I gotta break that down. Everything else falls into place when you know who you are. When you elevate your mind and you have a higher perspective of the world around you, and you can move in accordance with those spiritual laws, first you gotta develop self-love. You gotta respect yourself. You gotta get out of this looks, money, and status shit. You gotta get out of that. You gotta start going within. The whole point is to not be consumed by looks, money, and status, and to be connected with your inner world. Because that's where you're gonna find that wealth. That's where you're gonna find that peace. That's where you're gonna find all of the tools that you need to succeed and complete and accomplish the things that you want to accomplish in life. You know? Like, get out of the social conditioning in every aspect. Don't get on these social media, don't get on these YouTube videos, and then you let somebody else condition your brain and put dogma in your head. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. So yeah, I'm gonna do another part of this video. You know, I want to delve deep into this and give you all, you know, give you all information and things of that nature, you know, and not keep playing into these false narratives. So yeah, like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll holler back at you guys. Love. Salute.